Good morning, everyone. It's October 15th, 2020, 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. We're in Halifax, Nova Scotia today, and it's a beautiful sunny day. I can't believe how nice it is for middle of October. So, anyway, I thought I would start on the Dartmouth side. For anyone who doesn't know, Halifax is actually made up of two cities. There's Halifax, and then across the harbor is Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And it's a city as well, but when we say Halifax, we actually mean Halifax and Dartmouth. So, anyway, a little bit about that. So I'm walking on Portland Avenue, which is the main street down through Dartmouth, or Portland Street, whichever it's called, not sure. I've only been here 2 years, so anyways, it's really nice to be here. We moved down here from Ontario 2 years ago, and I'm really glad we did with all this COVID-19 problems. Here in Halifax, we haven't even got one new case in several days. So and there's only about, I think, last count I heard, 4 in the whole province. So we're getting off pretty lucky here. You can walk around, it's quite safe. You're not in a whole lot of danger of catching it. I put my mask on when I go in places and take it off when I'm walking around. So anyways, we're walking down Portland, and we're going to go right downtown, which is about the start of downtown right here, where I'm at right now, which will be the corner of Portland and Prince Albert. That's about the start of downtown Dartmouth. It's not a super busy city, but there's a few things down here that I like to go to and some things of interest. So anyway, we'll walk down through town and probably go to the ferry station where I usually go for coffee. So that's my plan, walk down Main Street here, down through Portland, and go to Tim Hortons at the ferry station, and then we'll see what we do from there. I'm not sure myself. I'm just out walking and talking to you folks, and I hope you enjoy listening to our videos and watching things about Halifax. And if you enjoy them, don't forget when this is over to push the subscribe and the like button. It helps a lot, and give us some feedback on it. You might write a comment. I always check the comments and see what people have said about it, so feel free to comment, and I'll usually answer you back. Okay? There's a lot of stuff called blue nose here in Halifax, or blueness, which is the Gaelic word, I guess, for blue nose. And they spoke Gaelic here at one time, a long time ago, but now I think the language is pretty much gone now. So most of the people that live in Halifax are probably of Scottish descent, somewhere back in the old days, and my family roots are Irish, so I guess I'm close. There are other folks here other than Scottish and Irish, but that is the main background for most people here. Most of our stores are open. Like you can walk right into Walmart, any of the stores that are operating. Most things are open. You can go in restaurants. You have to space 2 meters apart, but you can go into restaurants, and pretty well everything is as usual except for the spacing and wearing a mask. Other than that, I don't mind it too much because you got a lot of freedom. You're not really like nowhere to go. You still got places to go. So I guess we'll get through it. And everybody will keep their sanity, and we'll manage to get through it somehow. So I hope you're having a good day today, wherever you may be, and you're well, and nobody gets sick and catches the virus. You'll notice on the street here, some people are wearing masks and some aren't. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't feel any need for it when I'm walking on the street, but for those that do, that's good. It's about 50-50, I guess, here. The people who wear them and who don't. But everybody wears them when you go inside. You can't go inside without your mask on. Nice to see people out walking around here. It's such a beautiful warm day. I heard the weather in Winnipeg was -10 this morning, so we're lucky with a +14. What a big difference. Canada is certainly a land of contrast, and you can't tell what it's like in one place, what it'll be somewhere else. Here's one of my favorite stores. It's a guitar store. It's like a pawn shop. They sell a lot of musical instruments in here, but it's a pawn shop, but they got some good stuff in there. So, as a guitar player myself, I always stop and look in the window, and just happens that my wife is a trumpet player, and so these brass instruments are kind of interesting to us too. So she's still working, and I retired 2 years ago, so I got lots of time in my hands here to walk around and make these videos. I really enjoy doing it. It's really a great hobby for me, and I hope I get a lot of viewers because I really enjoy making these. So it's a lot of fun. It breaks up. Oh, there's my money for today. Brake truck. Okay, we're heading towards the harbor. You can see off in the distance there's water there. And all my other videos I was over in the Halifax side, so you can get a look at the city from this side. See what it's not a big city. We're about 500,000 people all told, I guess, between Halifax and Dartmouth and the surrounding areas here. We got Bedford and Spryfield and all little areas around the city. So all together we're about 500,000 people. So it's not crowded by any means. I see since the virus and the epidemic is going on right now that there's a lot of people moving back here. I see every time I go uptown, I see Ontario plates. There's there got to be a lot of people coming back from Ontario, which I don't blame them because the virus is running rampant up in Ontario. They can't seem to get it under control. They're about to shut everything down again up there. And I have a son and 2 daughters up there, stepson, and I feel sorry for all of them because they're going through rough times right now because of employment, trying to keep their jobs and not get everything shut down again. So that's kind of what they're looking at right now, I would think. Probably within the next week, we're going to hear an announcement that everything's locked up again, more likely. Yep, they've never been able to really get it under control up there. Here, I guess it's our population is a lot less. So therefore, it was much easier to get things under control here. So we were really careful when they told us about the fires, and we all wore a mask around and stay our distance, wash our hands all the time, and hand sanitize and all these things. And within a couple of months of doing that, the numbers just dropped right off. We had hardly anything. Now there's once in a while somebody will go out of the province and they'll pick it up, they'll come back, but they get tested right away and they catch it and they quarantine, and so far we haven't had a new case in a while. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that this stays a beautiful province and a wonderful city to be in. Yeah, I push the button here and waiting for the light. So it looks like a good day to have coffee outside. I have a spot inside where I go to, but when it's really nice like this, I just grab my coffee and I come sit outside and watch the boats go by in the harbor and stuff like that. So there's the ferry terminal. That big long building right there is the Halifax Ferry Terminal. Will take you over to the back and forth from Dartmouth to Halifax. It costs $2 for a ticket, or it might have went up to probably maybe $2.25, $2.35, something like that now. But for me, I buy my tickets in a package, and I get senior tickets, so I get a bargain. Mine are under $2, so that's pretty cheap. You buy a card of tickets, you get 10. And on Tuesdays, if you're a senior, you get a free ride on the bus after 9:30 up until 3:30, I believe. You can just hop on any bus, tell them you're a senior, and you jump right on. So that's really good. Enjoying a few of those perks for being a senior. So in case any of you folks are interested, want to know what I did before I retired, and I do all kinds of things. I'm a musician as well, and I play guitar, and I played in different groups, and have a CD out. And so anyway, before that, I worked as a truck driver in Toronto. I was hauled mattresses mostly for about the last 15 years. I worked for the same company, Rocket Freight, which is, I can't say enough about them. They're a really good company. I was there 15 years and never missed a day. Never called in sick once. I went in a couple of times with the flu because I didn't want to let them down and not be there because it was a small company. And so, yeah, it was a really nice place to work. I spent the last 15 years doing that until I retired and came back here, and we picked Halifax out of the blue. We didn't know where it was going to go. Said we can't live in Ontario. It costs too much if you're not, you got to have two people working and bringing in a good paycheck, or you can't live in Toronto. It's like living in New York. Everything's high up there. So apartments right now, you can't get much under $2,000 a month. Some of them are $3,000. So you can't live there if you're retired. It's too expensive. So we were talking it over, and my wife says, what about Halifax? I said, sounds good, let's go there. So that's what we did. We had a couple of months to plan, and I finished up in July 2 years ago, and we rented a truck, brought our furniture down, had our apartment all rented when we got here, and so that's how we ended up here. And you'll see now there's a lot of work going on the ferry terminal right now, because things aren't quite as busy as they were before, and so they take an opportunity here to do some work on some things, and they're upgrading the terminal a little bit. And I'm just walking up the pier here where some people go out here and fish off this pier. You can do that. I think a fishing license is like $5 or $10 or something. It's very cheap, and people come out here almost every day and fish. And for some people, that's their food. It makes a difference coming down here and catching a few fish and taking them home. So they usually come down with their coolers and fishing rods. They catch some fish, put them in their cooler, take them home. So I guess the water must be fairly clean here in order to eat the fish. It must be all right. It's a very calm day today, and I'm really enjoying this little walk. We'll walk right beside one of the harbor boats. This one right here says Halifax Transit. That's the type of boats we use for a ferry ride across the harbor. There's two in here right now. One over. Actually, there's three in here. They must be. I believe they're running today, but I don't know. There's three boats here. That's highly unusual that there would be three in here today, but maybe. So you'll see in the background a bridge then. That's called the McDonald. I guess it was named after John A. McDonald, who is the first one who brought Canada all together and formed the country of Canada, was Sir John A. McDonald. So that's the McDonald Bridge, and I don't think you'll be able to see it with the camera, but beyond that there's a second bridge similar to that one, only it's wider and built heavier for trucks. Trucks can't go on this one. The buses can, but trucks are not allowed on that bridge. So beyond that is the Mckay Bridge, and it can take the trucks and heavy things, and there's 2 lanes each way. This one is a kind of weird thing. There's 3 lanes on it, so you can take either one going. They usually have one open on the Dartmouth side in the morning, and two open in. Wait, let me say that again. 2 open in the morning, because most people are going over to the city to work, and they have 2 open coming over the other way at night, because people are coming back from the work. So there's 3 lanes, 2 going one way, 1 going the other way. And you'll see, if you can see over there on the sky, there's a lot of construction cranes right now up. And Halifax is definitely a city that's building. There's construction everywhere. I can count right now where I am about, I don't know if you can see them all with the camera, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's another one up farther towards the other bridge that makes 7. But there's more. There's just, Halifax is full of hills. So all you can see when you look across the harbor is what's on this side of the first hill, because there's a lot of steep hills here. So right behind what you see of the city across the harbor, there's what they call Citadel Hill, and that's an old fort that was there to defend the city back when they were worrying about being attacked by somebody. I don't know who it was. Was it Americans, or it was France, or somebody wanted to take over the place anyways, and so they had that fort there to defend the city, and it was well defended because they had all those guns and cannons up there on the Citadel Hill. And then when you come out here in the harbor, that island is another fort. So if you made it into the island, you probably wouldn't make it to the city. And there's another one up in what we call Point Pleasant Park, which where those container cranes are. There's a terminal right there, and then behind there and down along the water is Point Pleasant Park, which is a really beautiful place. One day I'll go over there and do a video in Point Pleasant Park, because it's such a beautiful place. And so anyway, we had 3 different lines of defense. You had the Point Pleasant Park, and you had that island, and then you had the fort right over here, aimed right out, all the guns aimed right over the harbor in case anybody tried to get in here and do something. But fortunately, it never happened. Nobody ever attacked Halifax, not that I know of. So anyways, that's a little picture of the harbor and the dock here and the boats, and so we got 3 boats in here that are for passengers, and I don't see, oh there, yeah, they are running there. One just left. There's one of the boats going out in the harbor now. So I guess they are operating. Maybe a little slower. It could be a slow day, and You know, sometimes they usually go when it's busy, one every 15 minutes, and they used to meet in the middle. But since the COVID came along and people aren't traveling as much, and some people don't have their jobs, so the ferries slowed down a little bit. You had one about every half hour, but I'm not sure now. I think at rush hour they put more on and a little more often. But anyways, it's okay. If you don't like the ferry, you can take the bus. We got a great transportation system here in Halifax. You can take a bus and it'll take you anywhere, and you can take your transfer. You buy a ticket and take your transfer, and it's good for at least 2 or 3 hours. And it's not like Toronto where you have to go one direction. You can go anywhere you want. You can come back the same way you went with that transfer. So it's really great. So you buy a ticket for $2, you can get a transfer. And if I get on the bus early in the morning, it'll probably be good up till 9:30, 10:30, depending on what time I get on the bus. And so it's really good. For transportation system, I can't fault it here in Halifax. It's 100%. It's really good. And they are talking about putting some more ferry boat runs on up to Bedford and things like that. So we'll see how everything takes time. The wheels turn slow. So let me see. I'm just making sure my camera hasn't stopped yet, because sometimes one video will stop and then I have to wait and then start another video. But we'll see. I'm gonna walk up here towards the terminal and I'll check it. I gotta get in the shade because the light's shining on my screen, so I can't be sure if my camera's still going. Yeah, it's still going. So I'm going to try to get over to the terminal, and then I'll turn that one off, and maybe we'll do another one here because there's other things yet to see here. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things. Halifax, like I said, is not a big city, but there's a whole lot of things to do here. I never get bored. I love walking around the city, and people will talk to you. A lot of times you'll meet somebody on the street, a total stranger, and they'll stop and have a conversation with you. So it's a beautiful place like that. Anyway, I'm going in the Ferry Terminal and get a coffee. Now, if anybody doesn't know, Tim Hortons is the big coffee chain in Canada. They pretty well got it sewed up. There's Starbucks here, but they're two different things. They don't really compete with each other. So Tim Hortons is the place to go for coffee. If you're from the States and you ever come up here, you'll find out Tim Hortons is where to get coffee. So I'm going in the terminal now. I don't think they mind if I keep my camera on in here. I don't think they will. Okay, so I'll just step through the door, and then I got to put my mask on because I haven't got my mask on yet. All right, so I'm just going to step through the door and then sign off. Okay, signing off for now, and we'll make another video after a bit.